Welcome to the Middleware Tech YouTube channel. In this series, you'll learn about Hibernate Introduction. All code examples used in the videos will be available on GitHub. Let's get started.
First point about Hibernate, we can say as, so we got Hibernate. And first point I wanted to say about Hibernate is that Hibernate is used in the DAO layer. I got only one point still now. This it came in the DAO layer, right? So I'm talking about first basic points. I'll come all the advanced things step by step. So I'm moving step by step. First basic points I'm moving one by one so that it will come to everyone very well. So first point I told that Hibernate is used in the DAO layer here between DAO layer to database, right? Okay. Now I need to see here some points about two component. One is called EAB and Hibernate. What I want to say is that this EJB, first point, who have created this Hibernate? Hibernate created by one person. His name is Gavin King. Gavin King, he is the creator of Hibernate. Gavin King, he was an EJB 2.x developer. He was EJB 2.x developer, and he was working on in Sun Microsystem. I'm taking long back. It is in year 1996, 97, 98, that time. So you're working as an EJB developer under Sun Microsystem, right? So I already told you that what is EJB. EJB is one type of application component. We use EJB to implement enterprise level application, right? Because EJB will provide the corresponding APIs to implement some of the enterprise application features like persistence, transactions, and then web service support, distributed, location transparency, right? We can implement these features with the help of the APIs provided by EJB, right? Okay, so it's one of the application component. And Gavin King, he was working on EJB under Sun Microsystem. It's fine. Now, what he identifies is that when he's working on EJB, he finds that if I'm using EJB as an application component, then I have to use one application server with EJB, like JBoss or WebLogic. That time WebLogic version came, I think 7.0 or 8.0, that was the version, or WebSphere, right? So what he finds is that he is working as an EJB developer, and if he's using EJB, if he's writing the business logic using EJB 2.x, then he must have to use one application server. That means our EJB application component, if I'm going to write business logic, I have to use an application server. Can I write my business logic in EJB without application server? No. That means EJB is application server dependent. What you find is that EJB is an application server dependent, right? right? So if I'm using EJB to write the business logic in case of enterprise level application, then company have to bear the license cost for the application server also, right? So that is the limitation he identified first. So based on that limitation, he tried to implement a separate application component. That time you have to take the license also, right, from Sun. So he tried to implement a separate application component that will not be application server dependent, right? And he moved to direction to the Hibernate, right? So that's why, second point we can say here. Second point is that Gavin King created Hibernate. Control C, Gavin King, Hibernate, based on the limitation of EJB. That is the first point came, right? He came with the Hibernate solution because of the limitation of EJB. Now, if I'm going to use EJB, then it's application server dependent, but Hibernate, it is not application server dependent. So if I use this Hibernate, then I don't have to use any application server. Without any application server, I can use Hibernate in case of enterprise level application. So it will reduce cost, right? Okay. So if I go for Hibernate, since it will reduce the cost, right? Okay, first. Next. Here, let's see. Okay, next we'll talk about persistence. Then we say that Hibernate, another features of Hibernate is that it will support persistence. Next point, number 3 point. Number 3 point I'm saying, Hibernate support persistence. That means using Hibernate, using Hibernate, we can implement, using Hibernate, we can implement persistence. That I'm saying here. Okay. So now the question is, what is the meaning of persistence, right? How we can define persistence, right? Let's add some focus into this persistence. Add some focus into this persistence. What is the idea behind persistence? What is the meaning of persistence? So first point I want to say about persistence is that persistence is one of the concepts that is used in enterprise level application. Okay. Now, what is the idea behind persistence? Sometimes we say that Hibernate as a persistence provider. Okay. We use the term called Hibernate. We use the term called Hibernate. Hibernate is a persistence provider. We use these terms. It is said to be as Control C, Control V, persistence provider. It's a very common provider. And you'll find one term called, can I say Hibernate is a framework or pattern? Yes, it is a framework and pattern, but we have different framework or pattern is there for enterprise level application like Spring, Hibernate, JSF, ADF. So, but much more specific, if I say that Hibernate will be a persistence provider, better than a framework, because it is not a middle tier framework. It's like Spring, Struts, JSF, ADF, OAF. It is used in the DAO layer to interact with the database. So much more specific, if I say it's a persistence provider, then it's much more specific. Okay. And some of the equivalent persistence provider, I'm coming into the meaning of persistence. Some of the equivalent persistence provider like Hibernate, like iBetis. Then we have Eclipse Link. Then we have Toplink. These are some of the equivalent persistence provider that is available in the market. Right? Eclipse Link, iBetis, Toplink. They are also called persistence provider. They are also used in your DAO layer to interact with the database. I can say equivalent persistence provider available in the market. But they are not used too much. Hibernate is used a lot. In today's enterprise level project, Hibernate is used a lot in your enterprise level application. Generally, Hibernate come into picture with your current Spring Boot. One side we have a Spring Boot. Current version I'm talking about, Spring Boot with microservices. On the other side, I have REST web service. And in the persistence layer, we use Hibernate. This is a common phenomenon how the industry is moving in the open source environment, right? Okay. Okay, so it is said to be as a persistence provider, this Hibernate. Okay, now what is the meaning of persistence, right? So persistence meaning, simple meaning is that save the state of an object, saving the state of an object inside database or some third party storage. Hibernate is simple. I'm talking about the persistence meaning. What is the meaning of persistence? Meaning of persistence means saving the state of a particular object inside a database or some third-party storage. So let me give one. Let's understand this persistence with a particular example. Let's see. I'm talking about IRCTC server. IRCTC server. Now they have last time it was with JSF. Now they have upgraded that IRCTC. The recent technology they have applied on IRCTC like REST. So whatever it is, this IRCTC server. If you go with the IRCTC server, so when the request is coming, right, and this let's see, this is my server. So in the server, lots of beans, object obj1. So I'm just saying, let's see, come with the image. I think it will be better. So just see this image. I'm talking about the persistence concept. So when the request will come from the application, let's see, this is me. This is your service layer or controller layer, whatever it is. Request will come to this DAO layer. So this is my DAO layer. WARM will come into DAO layer. I'm talking about WARM. I'm not yet came. I'm coming to WARM. I'm coming one by one. I'm talking about persistence. This persistence happened from this DAO layer to the database with the help of Hibernate Eclipse link. These are some of the persistence provider. I'm coming WARM. Just wait. Okay. Now I'm talking about the persistence. How persistence happened. So when you save the state of a particular passivation, so when huge amount of request came in the IRCTC server, so for each request, some object is allocated to provide the service, right? And some of the objects is not used currently. So if some of the object is not used currently, then their state is automatically saved to database or to some third-party storage based on some algorithm called LRU, list recently used. Based on some algorithm, some of the object is state automatically saved into database or some third-party stored. The object that is not recently used, automatically it will be handled. That concept is called passivation. So automatically object state will be saved inside database or some third-party storage. Whatever it is, that concept is called passivation for the object that is not used recently. Similarly, when you're moving from one link to another link, automatically that object state activated and provides service to the client. So this is called activation. So what is the advantage of this passivation and activation? That will work automatically based on algorithm. So what is the advantage? Advantage is that the advantage is that it will reduce the memory utilization during runtime. During runtime, object initialization in the RAM, it will reduce, right? And faster approach. So this concept is called passivation and activation. So this passivation and activation work simultaneously. And this passivation and activation together is called persistence, right? So persistence is the concept of saving the state of a particular object in the database or some third-party store. So when you're going to save it, it's called passivation. And when you retrieve the details, you call activation. So this passivation activation will work simultaneously. Right. That's the argument persistence. And using Hibernate, we can implement that persistence concept. That's why we say that Hibernate is said to be as one type of persistence provider. With Hibernate, that will come after some time. Right. So we can say another one point here, that using Hibernate, we can implement persistence. So that is the one point. Right. This is the idea behind persistence for enterprise level application, right? Okay. Next point I want to say that Hibernate, number 4 point. I'm saying Hibernate support ORM. Right? I'm just saying what part, why, how, when, where, everything 5W will come. Now I'm talking about Hibernate support. I'm talking about introduction about Hibernate. So here I'm talking about Hibernate support ORM. So first, let's understand this ORM concept first. I'm talking about what part now? What? So let's understand ORM first. What is this ORM that Hibernate support? Right? Okay. So I'm talking about ORM.